Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a review of the second episode of this season of The Challenge. Wow, I am never disappointed by The Challenge. I feel like it's just always a really good series that just keeps you on your toes, you're entertained, you're screaming, you're getting invested in it. Because that's me right now. Per usual, I have my notes on my laptop, so if you see me looking over, I'm just looking at things, so bear with me. So I forgot that we had like a cliffhanger essentially from the first episode because Natalie, that was paired with West, she was kind of like a rogue agent essentially, and TJ gave the update that now if you're kind of alone, you get the chance to like pick someone else and infiltrate and like pick a new partner essentially. And first off, Natalie is new to this series. I think she's from something else, so obviously she doesn't really know what's going on within the show, so it'd be a really big rookie move or just like a big daunting kind of move to try and pick someone else when she doesn't really know the ins and outs of the games, which is why she picked West. A lot of people tend to refrain from picking West because he has a lot of drama associated with him. So it would be kind of crazy for her to pick someone else, which she doesn't. And everyone's kind of like, why would you stick with him considering he is the drama and that's why you got picked to go in like the ring the previous week. But again, it's a crazy game. I'm sure it's like a mental game as well. So it's kind of hard for anyone when it's your first time being there. Next, I say, so CT, he is kind of talking in his diary room like, now I'm alone because TJ also mentions that CT gets his pick of who he wants like for the next elimination. Not really sure how that'll play out because it's like uneven now, but it's a girls elimination week. So I guess essentially like things will kind of switch around, but I'm like, okay, again, they really know what they're doing with the show and producers and stuff like that. So really interested to see how that like dividing would go. But CT is like, oh, I wish I would have picked Cam, Killer Cam. I'm kind of regretting it. She's obviously a strong competitor. I would have had less blood on my hands. I'm like, screw you, CT. I don't have anything against him, but I still just don't like the way that he let Cam down or kind of just was like, no, I don't want to be your partner. And Cam was like, now you want to be with me, etc., etc. But like, he's just being foolish, whatever. That was just the decision he made. And then I think also TJ announces there's 9 skulls left over for grabs. And that's kind of interesting from last season because I think last season he didn't give an indication on how many numbers of skulls they're going to be giving out. It was kind of just like each week we just had more and more episodes and more skulls. Like he just didn't know. And now we know there's essentially 5 for the guys, 5 for girls. So, or if it's even at least. So he's like, hey, there's 9 more. So like now we have like a good read on like how many more weeks or how many more episodes there could be. And then I forgot that Cam was even partnered with Josh before the CT and Cam conversation was happening, and Josh walked in like, hey, why are you trying to steal my partner? Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh yeah. Cause like at the very beginning, I forget about over half of the cast because there's so many people there. There's so many bodies to try and keep track of. So I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he's even here. And then the next scene-ish, you see Joseph doing some like baby/wimp crunches in the living room. And I'm like, why is everyone laughing at him? But I'm like, oh yeah, he's a rookie. It's his first season. He's doing some weird looking crunches and stuff. But I'm like, it's Leroy who's looking at him. I'm like, okay, we want all the black people to stick together somehow, but I know that's not possible. And I'm like, don't pick on him. But Joseph is also doing a really bad job of like having a political social game. And Big T is like giving those frustrations even from the first episode because he was asleep at the party. He's not talking to anyone. He's making no relationship. He's just there. This kind of game, you need to talk to people, even though sometimes talking too much is like, can put a dagger in your back essentially, but he's just not talking at all and just kind of making a comedy. I don't want to say fool. That's not the word I want to use, but he's kind of just being there and not doing a good job. But hey, if that's the game he wants to play, but you have a partner, so you have to think about the other person as well. And I feel like he's not doing that. But then people are falling in love with Nam. They kind of just have the little voiceovers and like everyone's like, oh my God, Nam, so this. They did the same thing with Fessy. I think Fessy's a really strong guy. And so is Nam, but somehow they're just both really liking him. So now I'm like, okay, there's gonna be messiness. There's gonna be showmances. Like there's always some sort of drama that comes along with that. And people eliminate each other based off these showmances. So let them start. We're only on episode 2, but you know, this is the challenge. And then when the challenge of the episode actually starts, TJ announces that CT can't participate because he doesn't have a partner, because when you're uneven, you can't participate, which is kind of interesting because like you're not really like showing your strength or showing that you're like a good competitor, but also CT does need to prove himself. But it'd be interesting if like you're a rookie and like you're just not competing. And then they announced that the challenge is them swimming out to like get an ice block from the water and coming in. And I'm instantly like, did you not learn from the last season? Last season there was a competition where they had to like swim in like water and get something from the bottom, like unlock it. And then the other competitors had to like put ice in there, like get them cold. Nelson froze up last time. Like they had to take him to the hospital or something because his whole body clenched up. So I'm like, it's Iceland. You're in water and ice in Iceland. Like, did they not learn from the last time? It's gonna be just as hard because the last time was indoors. Now we're outside. Like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And they had to unlock something, and then everyone ganged up on Wes and Natalie. Yikes. I guess the way that it feels like these shows go, if you nominate someone and they come back, it's just easy to nominate them again because we've already attempted to get you out, so why not try again? You already have the blood in your hands, like you're already like the targeted couple or pair, so I guess why not do it again? So that's what they did. But then it was embarrassing when Leroy puts the thing into Wes's like column, even though they were already like eliminated. I'm like, dude, were you not paying attention? Like, why go and, I guess, make that much of a target on your back to like, hey, Wes, I really don't like you. Even though you already got eliminated, I'm still gonna waste like a vote against you. And I was like, okay, pay attention. Like, I know a lot's going on, but pay attention for that. And then, like I said about the cold, Menchie, a rookie, they had to call a medic for him because he froze in the water. And I'm like, okay, they had to stop after this. Nelson happened last season, now Menchie, all the black men are getting all cold. I don't know what's going on. It's a pattern already, but again, I just feel like it was kind of obvious that could happen. And what was interesting, everyone was avoiding putting their like blocker into Anissa and Fessie's column. I don't know why, and it's very interesting because everyone was very aware of it. Yes, in the voiceovers, it's like flashing back so they can like think back to what was happening. But during the game, everyone was very observant and aware that Anissa and Fessie were not being targeted. I don't know why they weren't. I'm not saying they should have been, but they're all like, why are they not at them? Why are they not at them? Like, you guys are talking about it, so why are you not doing that? Like, why are you not putting your columns in there? So it was very interesting. I don't know why. I do know they were like, oh, like they can get the target on their backs for whatever. But like, again, don't you want to win so you can like get the power, have like, again, the power, you're not up for like, I guess, elimination, things like that. But it just didn't make sense because they kept saying it and they were acknowledging that they were the winners and no one was going against them, but they still continued to do that. So that was weird to me. But again, I'm not against Fessie and Anissa winning, but it was just like, you guys were really aware what was going on. So that was confusing. And then they were like, they're running the house. Obviously, we know who has a strong political game, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, again, you guys saw that and you could have changed that, but you guys just didn't. I don't know why. And they win. Fessie and Anissa win. And then when that happens, I'm already like, oh, wow. So they're going to be 2 times in a row, the ones that get to see who votes for the like double agents thing again, because they haven't told anybody that they have that secret power to see who votes for them. So again, here we are week 2 and they still have that power on them. So they just have to not win next week. There's no way you can keep winning over and over and over because that's just too much. Like, I don't know, it's just how drama happens, but that's just my opinion. And then Kyle tells Wes that it's possible that he's up for elimination next week. To me, it makes sense because he was already voted up last week. So why not just vote them up again? That's what happened with Jay last season. They just kept voting him over and over and over until he finally got kicked out by CT. And, or, right? Or no, did he? No, either way, that's just kind of what happened. I think that was the other way around. And then Joseph, remember Joseph, who I was talking about with Big T? Yeah, he just starts having a big old talk and he's saying, I want to go up. That's cool and all, because this is the kind of point in the challenge history or seasons where like you now need to start, I guess, campaigning for yourself because now you need these goals. Before, people didn't want to go up because they could potentially get eliminated. Now you need to go into elimination to get the skulls to like prove yourself. And Nelson, a lot of people are like, why is he doing this? He's a rookie, these rookies are different. But like, it's not so much that, like they have to go in at some point, but it's like the energy he was giving off was kind of off because again, he's new. So I'm like, do you really know what you're getting yourself into? Do you want to like wait a little bit? But he said he was pretty determined he wants to go in. And yeah, Wes was being the CT in my head of last week because he was like kind of groveling with like the Fessie, Nelson, what's his name, Corey kind of group. Like he was just like, hey guys, you can like let me be in your group, this and this. Like I was getting CT vibes and he was like, please kind of like let me in. I have Devin, but this and this. And I'm like, yeah, you just really have to either be with the group ahead of time. I'm not really sure how these friendships sometimes form. Like I don't know if like people already know they're gonna be on the show beforehand, they kind of talk with each other. And I think they do say that, but like it was just like, how do some people get on the outskirts when they've been on the show for like years? Because Wes is like, I don't want to use the word legend, but he's been around for a long time. Nany is starting to doubt her partner, Kyle. Don't really know why. I don't really think enough has happened for her to doubt him, even though like they've both been around for a little bit. Nany obviously longer than Kyle, but Nany's being straightforward with Fessy at the little party thing, like, hey, moving forward, like, would you be okay if like I picked you and like would you want to be my partner? And Fessy kind of like, I don't want to say he dances around it, but he's like, sure, if you want to pick me, I'll go with you. And Fessy in his voiceover says that he would kind of say that to every person so he could like be on the good cards with everyone. Eventually that might come back and bite him in the ass if all the girls talk about it and say like, oh, I wanted Fessy, and then eventually they all realize he was lying, but we'll see. But then Kyle pitches this master plan. It was very confusing to me because it's like having to require, like, I think Wes going in and him winning and his partner having to pick someone else and this and that. Like, there's just like a whole scheme of things, and Kyle's kind of being the mastermind behind it, and also like admitting to us, the viewers, that whatever he is pitching to us will be different than whatever he votes. And like, he's a liar. He's known for lying. He tells everyone he's going to vote for A, but votes for C, but then tells someone else B. Like, just Kyle. That's just Kyle. Like, I don't have anything against him, but he's kind of just like admitting that to the camera again. He's going to like tell them one thing and lie about it. And so he said he's going to lie to Fessy and he'll never find out because it's a secret vote. But little does he know about the power, because again, it's only been Fessy and Nisa who've gone in who've won and can see who votes in that person. And like, again, Kyle and the rest of the house don't know. So, I mean, it's not his fault. He doesn't know, but Kyle, why are you lying this early on? The series just started. But again, I feel like everyone's just ruthless on the series. And that's just what makes it interesting. But I feel really bad for Big T. Big T and Joseph had a conversation and it just went left immediately. Big T was just like, hey, Joseph, I'm just trying to get to a good understanding with you. I heard that you're trying to vote yourself in, like, but you didn't tell me I'm your partner. He's like, oh, I didn't know I needed to tell you, something like that. And she's like, yeah, I heard from CT, like, yeah, your partner is voting himself in against me, or is it Wes, one of the two. And he's like, yeah, but then I don't know if I should trust you. I think he was saying that to her, and it was just like, trust, I don't know if I trust you. I do trust you. And I'm like, why is there any distrust on week 2, where I don't even know how much time has elapsed in like the challenge whenever like the episodes come up, but one elimination's happened, so I'm just gonna say a week. I'm like, why is there so much distrust from him? Again, this is Joseph's first season, so why is he acting like this? This is Big T's third, not saying she's won, but she has essentially more experience than he does, and he's the one who doesn't trust her for some reason. Not sure why. And it was really awkward because you can see like Darrell and this another rookie who I don't know, like watching from the sideline, like what's going on there, even just like, why is he acting like this? And it was so embarrassing. Like, I felt so bad for Big T because he was just like talking down to her in a way and like, yeah, like, you're acting kind of crazy, you're acting like a ex-girlfriend of mine. Big T's like, I'm just trying to talk to you, like, I don't understand why you're even acting like this. And he just was not hearing her out for whatever reason. And I'm just upset because I'm rooting for everyone black. I want them all to be, I'm not gonna say friends, you're not gonna always be friends, we could be on the same page, but now he's just going like this and I don't know why. And Big T's like, you know what? F Joseph. I tried to talk to him and try to like get on the same page, but let's vote him out. Vote us in so he can get out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm for it. Even though I was trying to get y'all on the same page and like be civil, vote him out because he's just not playing a good challenge competitor game. It's his first one and he's not even actually trying to like ask you anything. He's just doing his own thing and shooting himself in the foot at this point. So the scene where they decide who's going to be nominated, or like kind of like, if you want to vote yourself in, Joseph's like, I'm gonna vote myself in, and like he kind of went really cocky about it and was like, I want to go against Wes, I want to go against the big gun, this and this, and everyone's like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I want to go up. And then T's just like, Big T's like, yeah, whatever. And the way Joseph was going about it was just like very weird. Like, yeah, Wes has like a big head basically about it, it's like too cocky, he needs to be humbled. I don't know if he said that verbatim, but that's kind of like the impression I got from it. And eventually he's like, yeah, he has too much money, or I think that's what Wes got from it, because he's like, yeah, I guess it's because I'm wealthy, is why he wants me in here. Just like dumb stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know where this conversation came from. At this point, people are saying they're gonna vote for Wes, but they're essentially probably gonna vote for Joseph because now he's just being dumb. Might as well get him out anyways. Even though the whole intention was to get out veterans early on, now Joseph is just, again, shooting himself in the foot. So it's kind of like, what's gonna happen? Who are they gonna vote for? They kind of got like this arguing kind of fest between Natalie, who was Wes' partner, against Joseph, and again, Big T didn't have anything to say. If she did, it was like a sentence, like, yikes, like, get me out of this. And like, I felt really bad for her. And the votes go, and it's all for Big T and Joseph. Bessie and Anissa are upset about the situation because I think everyone was saying that they were gonna vote for Wes and Natalie, but instead they did Big T and Joseph, which is again, against the whole veterans thing and just getting a random rookie Joseph in. And Bessie and Nisa, again, are the only winners so far, so they're the only ones who knows that you can see who voted and who lied about it. They go through the pictures and they see that Kyle's not there, meaning that he voted for, he voted for Big T and Natalie, which means that he like lied when he said he was gonna vote for West and Natalie. So Fessy and Anissa have this information that everyone knows, and they thankfully choose to keep it in there, like between them, because on Big Brother, for whatever reason, they always tend to like say they're not gonna say anything, they say something. But they actually keep up to it and they're like, we're not gonna say anything, we're gonna use this information later. I'm like, okay. And they're upset because again, people lied, but then they go down to the gauntlet after, I forget what it's called this season. And TJ's like, okay, so Big T and Joseph are the ones who were nominated, but it's Joseph who's going to be competing because it's a boys elimination week. And everyone's kind of expecting it to be West because one, Joseph said he wanted to be West, and like everyone just has their little plots in their head and just assume that's what's going to happen. What Fessy should have done is voted himself in because he's big, he's strong, and there was no things out in like the gauntlet situation. It was like dirt essentially, so that would mean it's physical. He's a big guy and Joseph is small, rookie, new to this, so he probably doesn't know anything. Like he should have went in. That should have been his time because this is his second time as like a winner, so he has the opportunity to put himself in, and he said, no, I'm not gonna go out. And everyone's like, all right, so who's gonna put in? And everyone's expecting West, right? They put Kyle, and Kyle was like, I don't wanna say he was fake mad, he was mad, but to me it's fake mad because they know that you lied. Like you lied about your situation, so like why are you mad? But he doesn't know that. So he's like, this is so this and this. I'm so blindsided, I don't understand the whatever fake people. I'm like, again, but you're fake because you lied about who you voted for, but that's besides the point. So it's between Kyle and Joseph. They had to like do a physical competition, like I said, like with rings and put them over something, like just kind of wrestle it out. And it's like, light bulb goes off and you hear Fessy like, wow, I should have done this. I should have went in. I'm like, yeah, you stupid. Like how many more chances do you have? Because TJ's been saying over and over, there's only so many skulls, and like actually gave you guys a number. But Fessy is kind of like watching, everyone's watching, and Kyle wins. It was 2-0. And Fessy in the end is like, oh, I should have went down. And everyone's starting to say, maybe Fessy's big talk. Maybe Fessy is, again, big talk, and he just says more than like what he looks like. Maybe he just says like it's a big competitor, but he's really not. So he had 2 chances to go in, or I guess not really. It's 2 chances to like vote themselves in, but he would have had one boys elimination week, and he would have won this one against Joseph. Joseph put up no fight to me, and he left. So it's kind of interesting. I'm really interested to see the next episode because I know that Kyle and the rest of the house might confront Fessy about like, why did that happen? I thought it was West, and West also thought it was like his power and his political game is why he didn't get nominated. No, that's not why. It was solely because Fessy was able to see who voted for who and thought Kyle was a snake because he was like the ringleader of the situation and still didn't vote the way he said he was going to. So again, I'm really interested to see how Kyle confronts Fessy and Anissa, and then maybe the house will finally find out maybe next week when a new pair wins and sees like the screen and everything. So I'm really interested to see how that goes. But yeah, I love the challenge, always interesting, never fails to disappoint. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments of this review and just the episode in general. So see you next time, bye.